All right, this is Dr. Reese. On your screen, you'll see the module work plan for week 8. Again, this is a module work plan for week 8. We're moving into chapter 11, where we're going to start to understand the relationship between return and risk for investments. So again, we're moving into chapter 11. We're going to try to understand the relationship between returns and risk. Please read chapter 11 if you have not done so. Here in this blue row, you'll see a PDF file that contains PowerPoint slides for chapter 11. There are some exercises that you'll want to have available when you review the PowerPoint presentation. In particular, you're going to want to have this first Excel spreadsheet. This spreadsheet, Ross 8E Chapter 11 Excel PowerPoint Example Student Version Blank. You're going to want to have that Excel worksheet open on your computer. Download it and have it functional on your computer or laptop. After you walk through the PowerPoint presentation and this Excel workbook, there are some summary problems here for chapter 11 that you might want to review. They'll help you prepare for the test. Related to helping you understand the material in chapter 11, here are 2 PDF files that contain links to videos made by others. These are short videos. The first PDF file, Online Video CAPM, which stands for the Capital Assets Pricing Model, CAPM stands for the Capital Assets Pricing Model, will take you to short videos to help you understand the Capital Assets Pricing Model. And this is a model that essentially relates risk and return. And then the second PDF file is Online Video Portfolio Returns and Risk. Again, walks you through how the composition of a portfolio impacts the returns and risk of that portfolio. A portfolio is a collection of investments, a collection of securities that are put together and managed together. And so again, this will help you understand how assembling a portfolio impacts returns and risk. Last but not least, you'll have a business news quiz to do. So that is the work plan for the week. Before we leave, I want to take a minute and show you this Excel workbook that I want you all to use. So again, this Excel workbook, Ross 80 Chapter 11 Excel PowerPoint's example student version blank. I'm going to switch over to that now. Now on your screen, you'll see this Excel workbook. Please note that the workbook has several worksheets. The first worksheet is for calculating variances. You'll remember the variance is the square of the standard deviation, or put the other way, the standard deviation is the square root of the variance. There's another worksheet for portfolio weights. So determining the portfolio weights of various securities in a portfolio. So here we have 5 securities: stock A, stock B, stock C, stock D, stock E. We've invested a certain number of dollars in there, and we're going to calculate the portfolio weights. And all we're doing with portfolio weights is we're just determining what percentage of dollars are associated with each investment. In this case, we have $15,000 divided by a total of $50,000. So stock A represents 29.88% of that whole portfolio. So again, we just divide 15,000 by the 50,200, put that in here. Now notice you'll see little pink areas called work areas. This is where you need to put formulas in to make the spreadsheet work. Just like I put a formula in here in cell D5. I said C5 divided by C10. That's going to give me the portfolio weight for stock A. So you need to do the same thing. So again, let me do the formula for D6. So that's going to be stock B. We've invested $8,600. We're going to divide that by 50,200. And we see that that is 17.13% of the whole portfolio. So we have stock B, we invested $8,600. We divide that by 50,200, and we see that that is 17.13% of the whole portfolio. In any of these pink areas on a worksheet, those are areas where you should enter formulas. Any place else that's not pink, do not go into those cells and change those cells. So don't change the cells that are green. Don't change the cells that are white. Don't change the cells that are blue. Leave those alone. The only place where you should be putting formulas is where it is pink. Same thing on this sheet. Only place you should be entering formulas on this variance and standard deviation worksheet is here where it is pink. And so I want you to try to figure out what formulas you need to put in there to make these worksheets work. These worksheets correspond to PowerPoint slides. These worksheets correspond to PowerPoint slides. So this variance standard deviation worksheet corresponds to slide 8. This portfolio weights worksheet corresponds to slide 11. Again, there's a work area here. This corresponds to slide 12. This corresponds to slide 12. We're going to calculate the expected return for each one of these stocks, stock A, stock B, stock C, stock D, stock E. And then that's going to update the expected return for the total portfolio, which is right here in cell H8. Do not change anything on this worksheet unless it is a pink cell. Now, there's slide 15 corresponds to this portfolio variance worksheet. So in other words, we can calculate a standard deviation for a portfolio as well as for a security. Now again, all you need to do is put in the correct formula here in these pink cells right here. Cell I5, I6, I7. Do not change any of the formulas in any of the other cells. Now here I give you, again, this corresponds to slide 12. I'm giving you a chance to practice, again, putting these formulas in for the expected returns for stock A, stock B, stock C. I've included another worksheet here called stock market indices and beta. When we work in stock markets, you learn about the Standard & Poor's index, you learn about the Dow Jones index, and there are many other indexes. And I want to help y'all understand how an index works. So I constructed here an index out of fictitious little companies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little fictitious companies. I put the total asset value of those companies. That determines their weight in the index. And then I've given you the stock price for that fictitious company on September 1, 2018. And I've given you the stock price for that fictitious company on October 1st, 2018. So in that way, we see a change in stock price, and you see how that's going to impact this stock market index for this little make-believe universe of companies. In addition to that, I want you to understand the concept of a beta. A beta is a way of understanding how the relative change in price of a stock relates to the relative change in the overall market index for that market. This is to help you understand mechanically how betas work. Last but not least, I included a worksheet to help you understand mechanically how the capital assets pricing model works. In other words, to help you understand how it relates returns, betas, and the required rate of return. In other words, what the capital assets pricing model is basically saying, beta is a measure of risk. And here is a measure of the overall return in the marketplace. There's a total return in the marketplace is 12%. If the overall return in the marketplace is 12%, and the beta is the risk of that particular security, then what return do you need on that specific security to induce you to buy that stock as opposed to just investing in the index as a whole, as opposed to investing in the index as a whole? that's essentially what the capital assets pricing model is doing. So here's a little work area for you to understand how to relate these three variables: expected return, beta, and the required rate of return. I already put a formula in here in D6. You should examine the formula I have in D6. Use it as a guide to creating the formula in D7. This will help you understand the material in the chapter. So again, here's the module work plan for week 8. Happy studying.